Right, hello everyone. I just want to make a video, just a little update on my two prop firm challenges, how they're going. I just want to tell you guys how it's going and just my outlook for the week. But I know that it's Wednesday today, so a weekly outlook, it's a little late. But I've just been really busy with children off school and things like that, life stuff. So yeah, it's here finally anyway, the weekly video on Wednesday. Right, I just want to start off by showing what's happening on my prop firm challenges. Now this is the one that I've had since February. It's only a 10k account. You can see here, my equity is, I've got no trades running at the moment. I closed all my trades down on Friday. I will discuss why in a moment, but I had a Ferrari trade and a USD Swiss franc trade open here. I closed them down for profits, I believe. Let me see. Yeah, I made a $200 profit here on Ferrari. Another $200 trade on the USD CHF. And I also made a small loss on a Meta stock long. I just closed it on. I just thought, I didn't like it. I thought it just bad me time. I did feel like it would come lower, which it really has. I would have stopped out of that trade by now. What was it? My stop loss for this? 614. No, actually I wouldn't have. I would still be in that trade. But yeah, so it has come lower though, so I am thinking about jumping back in, and if I do, hopefully it will turn back up. So yeah, anyway, just on that account of mine, 10k account, I'm on 9,400, so it's still clinging on. Now this is my 100k account. It is the new one. It's only been traded on it 2 weeks maybe. Again, I closed out my trades on Friday. What did I do here? USD CHF. Closed that out for 1,800 profit, and I closed out to Aussie dollar USD for $1,500 profit. Again, I had a meter trade here, closed it down early for $130 loss. I got really lucky on this heat and oil trade. I shorted it, but I'd made a big mistake when it comes to the lot sizing, so I got really lucky. So I only ended up losing $19 when, if I'd have sized that correctly, that would have been a massive loss. So yeah, I've been really fortunate there. So currently my balance for this is $102,684. I have one trade left open, which is my sugar trade, down $490 when you include the swaps. Currently we're on the $13.72 mark, and my stop loss is at $13.45. So yeah, it's not looking too good, but might as well just let it play out now. So yeah, we'll see. So let me just show what is my when it comes to what I'm watching for this week. I've got my eye on mainly stocks. Well, the ones that really I like to look of will be Meta. When was that? On Wednesday last week, there was an earning report. It come back a little soft. Very soft. It's not. Yeah, so that explains what this big drop was here. That was on Wednesday last week, a week ago. So what I've done is I've marked out some zones here on the weekly chart. And this one here is nice, really good zone. Explosive candle right out on the weekly. But as you can see, this price has come straight in and just kept on falling down towards the bottom of the zone. So I've just bided my time. What I would have usually have done was I would have just bought long as soon as it would have entered this zone. Now, what I'm trying to do is just be a little bit more patient and just, see how price action goes once we're into the zone, and then plot my entry once there. Now, another thing that made this a little bit tricky is that we got this level here, another zone right underneath this zone. But this is a level on top of level, which made it a little bit trickier. So, what I've done is put the weekly chart up. As you can see, I've got the two zones marked out now. So this is the better of the two zones, I believe. Look at that, look at this explosive candle. Amazing, that's exactly what we want to see. So yeah, but like I've already said, price entered into this zone and just kept on falling. So what I'm thinking now is maybe the price is just gonna keep coming down and fill this big gap that we have here. Look at the price gap. So that makes me reluctant to jumping on now. So my plan here, I'm going to keep an eye on this, the daily candles. Maybe let's look at the 4-hour candles. I'm going to look at the daily candles, and then if we get like a bullish candle, maybe a bullish hammer candle, or like an engulfing candle here, I will actually make an entry as if we leave the zone on the upside. So what I'll do is I'll make a buy stop around the $648 mark, and once we just pass through this zone here upwards, I'll be straight in. But while I'm waiting also, I'm just keeping an eye out to see if it just continues to fall into this zone here, and that would be really cool. I'm hoping that so that's what I'm doing. I'm just keeping an eye out for if it's going to fill the zone, the gap, the price gap here, and enter this zone. If it does, then I'm looking to long still. I'm looking to long because I use a tool, valuation tool. Excuse me. A valuation tool. Let me just show what that looks like. Let me show you. Yeah, so how this works is I'm just keeping an eye on it. So the top one is 13 days evaluating tool, and this is for longer term. The bottom one, this is 30 days. So I tend to focus more on the 13 days. So how it works is this green line here, anything below that, touching that, that indicates that it's undervalued. And then over the red line, that's an indication that it's overvalued. So what I like to do here is the price has actually dropped under the green line here, which shows that this stock right now is undervalued. So once that happens, I'm always just looking to see, are we in a zone or are we approaching a zone? And if so, I'm going to long it. Like I can show you, like look at this here. I'll just show you quickly how it works and how accurate it can actually be. It's not perfect. But look at this here, undervalued. Look at that move to the upside. Yeah, look there. We come into the below the green right here. We got a move to the upside. Let me see. Not so much here. Probably a little loss here. Maybe we didn't get the move we wanted to, but it is quite an accurate tool. Let me just show a couple more examples. Here we go. That didn't go under the green. Here we go here. Under the green, undervalued. We have a move to the upside. This is close enough. pretty much touching the green. Big move to the upside. So yeah, that's how I like to do it. So yeah, and if we look at the 30-day for double confirmation that it's undervalued, again, also here it's indicating that this stock right now is undervalued. So I'm just looking for the right time now. I want to just waiting for the right time to just long this stock. So yeah, that's the first stock I'm looking at, Meta. Another one that I like to look at right now is AT&T. Let me see. It's a little bit similar to Meta at the moment in the fact that price gap here. Yeah, we got a price gap. So this is on the weekly. It's a bit messy. As you can see here, we have this price gap. But that's still quite a little bit of way away. So yeah, I've just marked this zone out on the weekly. We got, look at that, 1, 2, 3, 3 explosive candles on the weekly. So that's an amazing reaction from that zone. That's a beautiful zone. Let's go on to the daily. Here's the zoo zones I've marked out here. Level on top of level. Looks a bit messy here. I'm going to get rid of this. Very messy. But we have actually entered. We're in the, as it stands right now, we're in this top zone. And I marked out another zone just here, which is a level up top of level. And we did actually touch that also. So to be honest, I should actually, we got a hammer candle here. Looking at that, I'm probably going to be long in that later on today. Once the market's open in a few hours time. One thing I just want to say is that this is not financial advice. If you do follow what I'm doing, you know, there's a good chance that you're going to get absolutely smoked. So yeah, be careful on that. But yeah, look at that. We got beautiful zone, big massive reaction from it. We got re-entry into the zone here with a hammer candle. So yeah, look, we got the sell off here to the bottom of the wick, and then it's come straight back up. The buyers, it's snapped back up, and now we have a bullish hammer candle. It's not the greatest hammer candle in the world, but it is a hammer candle. So, like on the weekly as well, it's absolutely tremendous. Look at that. Look at that reaction, unbelievable. So yeah, AT&T is looking good to me. I will be getting on that probably in the next couple of hours. Now let's just check the valuation too with that. If I remember right, it's not the oh, here we go. Yeah, no, it's not the greatest. What makes me a little bit reluctant is that on the day, on the short term, which what I like to go with more, the 13-day, is that it's not quite undervalued yet. It is below the mean, and it does seem to be coming downwards slightly. So maybe I won't engage. That's what's making me a little bit wary. But if you do look on the 30-day, we do have been undervalued going back since the end of September now. What I will say is I do prefer it. I'm not a big fan of this undervalued continuously. I do like it better when it's like snaps, like a snap here. Look, it snaps quickly, bam, quick, sharp, boom. Instead of just like here, look at this, undervalued. I'm not saying that doesn't work. You don't get the reaction you want, but I'm just saying I do prefer it. So yeah, that's AT&T. The other one is another stock, Walmart. Again, it's the stock I'm keeping an eye on. There was actually a bit of a reaction yesterday. I could have, maybe should have jumped in already. So on the weekly, if I zone marked out, entered the zone and it's exploded out here. The only thing that makes me a little bit wary is that there was a little bit of a pullback here. Look at that wick at the top. So it did run out of steam and the price pulled back in a little bit. So that is sort of... So on the daily, this is how it looks. Well, the zone here is a little bit messy. No, it's not too bad. We have the zone here. It's entered the zone. It's come right down towards the bottom end, and we've got a move. Now I could have entered this here yesterday, entered a buy stop, but I didn't. I was just a little bit... I think what I did with this is I just decided, you know what, I'm just going to focus on the meter trade instead. I like that more, but I'm not ruling this one totally out. But I do feel like I do like the AT&T and meter trade more, so yeah, I'll probably put this on the back burner. And lastly, I just want to talk about the euro. Yeah, so I need... Now I am hoping to still get... I'm hoping to still join long the USD. Now, from a seasonality standpoint, we've got until the end of December. Sorry, the end of November for it to make it move higher. And then towards the end of December, the 25th to 26th, it's due, you know, as the seasonality tool predicts that then it can start to fall off. So I'm just hoping that in the next week or so, I'm going to get a chance to get on a dollar long again. But I'm sort of regretting now closing out my trades on Friday. The reason I've done it is because the COT date is still in the dark. The US government's still closed down. And I just thought, you know what, I'm just going to bank some profits towards my challenge and just... you never know what's going to happen over the weekend either. Is Trump going to tweet something, or is there, you know, there's a lot of tension in the world right now. The markets could have gapped up or down massively on Monday. So I just maybe I was being a little bit weak there by closing them, but I banked some profit. So, but I'm sort of regretting it now because it's continued making it move higher. So what I'm looking at now is with the euro, I've marked this zone out here. I'm hoping, I don't think I'm going to get it now, for a pullback into this zone here, and then I'll be back on the EUR USD. Now looking at this chart now on the daily, we got like an explosive candle here. That's yesterday's daily candle to the downside. So this is probably like a new zone that's being formed. So what I would do now is potentially be looking, if the price comes back into this zone, I will be short on the EU. But what's not great at the moment from doing it from this zone is that we've got this nice big zone, demand zone here. So there's not much room for our price to come back down before coming up against this potential battle that it might not win. So yeah, ideally the price is going to come back into this zone, which will give us plenty of room until we reach here. So yeah, I would probably not engage here. I'm going to delete that. Yeah, so that's my plan at the moment. I'm just waiting for a little pullback with the USD. And then this is a pretty good zone, the British pound. Let me see, on the daily, marked out this zone here. That's a massive explosive candle, good reaction. So if the price does come back here, like, I'm gonna add an alert. If the price can come back there, I'm on it. So from here, the next zone down would be here. So yeah, if we do come, the price does come back here, I would most definitely probably engage, as long as me fundamental indicators have my back. I will engage because there's plenty of room here to the downside. I'm looking for a 2-to-1 minimum when I go into a trade, ideally more. So yeah, I think I could get a 2-to-1 here. The price does make its way down to this zone. Let me just show you quickly how I do my analysis when it comes to currencies. Right, now I'm going to change my valuation to currencies. Right, so let me just explain quickly what we have here. Let me put the euro. Right, these 4 windows here. I have this tool here. This is monitoring the COT data for the orange here is the institutions. So, you know, the big hedge funds, the speculators. The red is the retail. Now, I put a lot of emphasis on the retail, just for the simple fact that they do tend to be wrong most of the time. So a good idea would be, once the COT data, you just go, it's getting to an extreme level where they retail it, and just go the opposite way. So that's them too. And then this is the COT data here, the blue for the commercials. Now these are the smartest players in the game. They're not speculators. This is all just business driven. Their businesses, you know, they're not there to just speculate and taking money from the markets. It's just it's just business to them. Like, so what I'm thinking is, with the EU, with its commercials, they might be buying it because they're just converting some of their reserve cash into euros, or maybe there's going to be a big, purchase, involving the business, and they need euros, so they're selling the dollars to convert it to euros, that sort of thing. So yeah, the commercials are really the smart players, especially when it comes to commodities. That's when they're really smart. They're the most important thing when it comes to commodities and metals and things, not so much currencies. I'd say with currencies I probably focus more on these retailers. So yeah, so when I look at the EU right now with the valuation tool, both the short and long term valuation tool is saying that the EU is undervalued. So what that's predicting is that what I'm thinking is that means the price is probably going to bounce back up sometime soon, hopefully into my zone, and then I can short it. And so that's how the valuation tool works. Ideally, if I'm wanting to short the EU, I want these two, especially the top one, to be in the red. It is just overvalued and it's due a pullback. So that's the valuation tool. I've explained the COT data, and this is the seasonality tool. So the seasonality tool is saying that the EU, it estimates it's going to continue its downfall until around roughly the 25th of November, and then it's going to take off up until, when's that, the 4th of Feb next year, and then a downturn. So yeah, now I just want to say that these tools here, they're not perfect. It doesn't mean you're always going to be right. It's just giving you an idea. um, an idea on what could happen, and then it's up to me once I like what I'm seeing with the fundamentals to plot my entry, and that is all. Will always be with supply and demand zones. So yeah, that's that. That's how I plot me trades basically. These are my fundamental tools. Yeah, so I'm probably waffling on a little bit now, but yeah, that's it. That's what I'm thinking about this week, and yeah, that's how I do my trade. So sorry, my video's very late if anyone does see this. So yeah, I'll be back in a day or two. Take it easy, everyone. See you later.